Hello everyone, it's Chadman here, and I thought I would give you guys a treat. This is a battle from my Italian campaign that I was playing for my own personal amusement, Napoleon Total War 3, so this will be probably the similar sort of thing you'll see Mao will do when he does his playthrough, so I thought I'd treat you fine fellows to a rather enjoyable series of battles during those campaigns, and this is the first. So you can see I'm kind of outnumbering my enemies, so this is one to start on that's going to be a complete and utter carnage. So you can see here, this is the array of troops that I have. I've got Fusiliers, Nationalists, Guard, and you can see at the back Revolutionary Infantry as well as Garde Nationale, and there's Dragoons over on the right flank. Now I've also got a significant amount of artillery, so you can see the artillery batteries there doing quite well, and obviously there is my chasseurs as well, and we've got Grenadiers, more Revolutionary Infantry, Fusiliers, Line Fusiliers, and more Rev Infantry. So this is essentially the layout. So you can see now what I'm doing is, I tend to do this quite often, I like to have my cavalry on the edges so that they can do a kind of pincer movement while the line holds in the centre. So you can see now I'm getting everybody set up, pushed into position, getting all of my line infantry up the front here, trying to cover as long a section as I can. Now that basically means if they decide to push or they get reinforcements from anywhere, I can deal with that accordingly and can then marshal troops in an opposite direction. So I've got the option of going round here, I've got the option of going round here. Meanwhile, these troops over here can make their way over the hill and try a pincer movement out here. So this is still kind of classic type battle situation. So we will just forward wind it and wait for things to begin. So there we go. Now over here looks to me like some reinforcements. Yes, Dragoons. So you can see here now what's happened is I've got the general of another army appearing behind me. So needless to say, this is going to be rather unfortunate for this bunch of Revolutionary Infantry. So you can see these fine fellows here. Don't they look wonderful? So the question is, what is going to happen? Now these guys are making a run possibly for my artillery, and yeah, no, there we go, they're making a run as I've decided to move in my chasseurs to assist them. Unfortunately these guys, yeah, there we go, they're trying to do the turnaround. They're doing the turnaround, in come the chasseurs, and unfortunately bad micromanagement by me means that they just pile all through my own troopers. Those guys have now routed, and if we look up on the hill here, we've still got a collection of Dragoons. So yeah, those Dragoons hopefully, and also more Dragoons over there, will run into my Dragoons and my line infantry over here on the left flank. Meanwhile, we have the artillery here bombarding this small line in the centre. These poor bastards not having a good time of it. So yeah, basically from Piedmont, Sardinia. So these fellas are about to have a bad day, as you can see. Don't they look wonderful? But their uniforms will be stained with blood very quickly. So at the current moment, most of the pressure is coming down on the right flank. So you can see here, lots of battles. It's a bit hectic. Not very good management by myself here, unfortunately. So we've basically got into a horse fight in the middle of a forest, which is never a good thing. Fortunately, my Dragoons did okay and managed to force the Sardinians to rout. So that section of Dragoons is now disappearing, and this section is going past their retreating general, and you've also got 12-pound artillery moving in as well. So you can see those guys will be limbering up shortly. So at the moment the left flank is the weakest area for me, and you can see what's happened now is bad micro by me again, is moving these guys in front of the cannons. So you're probably going to see a few guys get a cannon in the face at any second. So this is obviously not good. I should have brought them round the back in a smaller, maybe a line or something like that, or put them into run mode. There we go. So a bit of fire coming in, trying to take out the Sardinians over the far side of the trees. Let's walk all our men in front of the cannons. There we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, unfortunately, some of my guys have just caught a cannonball in the face. Yeah, a few more of them there. So that's not good micromanagement by me, unfortunately. So you can see here, these guys also then moving up to do a standard, you can see here, standard pincer movement into these guys, so we can then attack them from 2 directions. They're probably moving into the other area as we've got these guys now. They've also caused those dragoons to rout, and we're going to look at the situation to see what happens as we've got the line infantry here. Now they appear to be facing out of the forest towards the direction that the infantry will be coming, so we're moving these guys over to support, obviously minus a few fellas who decided to walk in front of the cannons. Yeah, that's not the first time that's happened to me on this game. It's kind of amusing, as Stace and Malekith will no doubt tell you, as I managed to blow up loads of my own troops when I played this game in the first multiplayer, and when I managed to rocket most of Stace's troops with my insanely silly rocket artillery. So you've now got the additional reinforcements coming in. So you can see here the right flank now is going to be in trouble. There's cannon fire coming in from the artillery, and you've got more line infantry, so it basically means I am going to have to rotate my troops around very quickly. So you can see I've already started moving troops over from here. Now I'm not moving the artillery at the moment. I think the artillery will remain looking in that direction, as you've got these guys over here. Unfortunately, you can't pay attention to everything on the battlefield, so these guys are having a little bit of a fight, and these guys will probably move forward to outflank them. These guys also staying in as reserves. You've got more guys walking in front of the cannons. Well done, Chad. You rule. And you've got another group of chasseurs who will probably be able to sneak around the side. So as you can see here, what I'm trying to do is get them into an enclosing sort of shape, a half circle, so that these guys are being fired on from all directions. So these troops are probably going to move up to here. You've got these troops move up to here, and then we enclose that entire army with musket fire and take out as many as we possibly can. Obviously these guys are limbered up. They're probably set to not do anything for the time being. There's no point. I could probably fire them in that general direction, but at the moment I'm just focusing on the military and the line infantry to see what happens. So you can see here more line infantry moving up probably to that tree. Fire coming in from my grenadiers, and let's see what they're doing. So you can see these guys. This is early on. This is one of the first battles I had in the campaign, so they don't really have many options with respect to upgrades or anything along those lines. So you can see now this flank here quite exposed. However, I do have the chasseurs guarding that flank should they decide to push around, as we've now got fire coming into this army. Hopefully this will make these guys decide otherwise, as they are now taking fire into this particular area. As you can see, concerned about casualties, as you've got more of them, more Sardinians coming in here, and then you've got these guys over here, the dragoons, who have now moved up to support, as there's not a lot of things going on over there. So let's see if we can lock in over on the corner here, find out what's going on between these Sardinians. So it looks like what I'm trying to do is move them round to shooting them at them from the side, so that they can't get as many of our troops. These guys unfortunately remaining still and all quiet on the western front, so to speak. So this is where the main battle is located, between my army and the Sardinian reinforcements. So you can see loads of fire coming in here, and you're now moving up the dragoons to support them, probably on the left flank here, just in case anybody tries to run. Now this was a pretty balanced battle. I think the numbers were roughly the same, but obviously you've got these guys here. There we go, some grenadiers now routing. Obviously casualties sustained. There we go, more of them routing. So this sustained fire moving in from all directions, minus all the smoke obviously, is proving to be quite effective against the enemy. So as you can see, let's move over here, as these guys are now having a little bit of a line battle with the militia. and they are losing quite significantly. You can see my line infantry here doing quite a good job, doing the sort of staggered firing options. So you can see there, all doing a great job. Those lads pouring fire into the enemy. So let's look at the main battle over here. So you can see now more Sardinians pushing that line. You've got the Dragoons making their way up the left-hand side, and you've also got these French battalion, the Fusiliers, obviously about to come under pressure from the line infantry from Sardinia, and they're probably going to go hand-to-hand combat, possibly. We'll wait and see. No, they've just routed as the militia then starts coming in. Why these guys are not firing, I could not tell you. I don't know. Could they be facing the wrong way? They might be facing the wrong way. There we go. The turn command has been given. They will now be focusing on the enemy, as you can see. And the fire goes out, and the first line of the Sardinian forces gets taken down by rapid fire from the muskets. People loading as quickly as they can. These lines being redirect fire back in that direction. And you can see now, as a result, the sustained fire, along with the Dragoons moving up to the left-hand side, means that these guys are going to start routing pretty quickly. You've got Grenadiers moving in to try and push the left flank. Let's have a look at the right flank. The right flank is pretty weak at the moment. As you can see, the Sardinians are running amok over here on the right-hand side. Now, the question is, why don't I stop using that term? Okay, so these guys still in that location, obviously, to deal with those guys if they run in that direction. You've now got more troops moving over to support these guys, obviously trying to block that hole there. Now, the trouble is, obviously, they're going to take a little while to get there. These chasseurs, obviously, have been moved out to one side, as I'm focusing most of my attention on this main battle area. And fortunately, thanks to sustained fire from my line infantry, means that... oh, there we go. Got a little bit too close, and they've now charged in for the melee combat. So you can see there a little bit of melee going on. You've got the infantry, for some reason, walking directly towards me. That can't be good. And I'm now moving over the line infantry to the right-hand side to try and deal with these guys who are pushing on the right flank. And I've got my chasseurs who are now pushing back against these guys. Now, I've moved these guys into a square because they're now basically being attacked from multiple directions. So I wanted to be able to fire in multiple directions. That may not be the right tactic. We shall just have to wait and see. But enables them to cover all eventualities. As you can see here, the line infantry of the Sardinians has been pushed back. For some reason, the Grenadiers are, or the artillery, are literally looking right down our nose. I don't know what's happened with that. So you can see one of these guys just got that in the face. So there's a good chance that I'll end up moving in. We've got another line of chasseurs over there to assist. And here come the Dragoons hitting the army from the rear. So you can see the Dragoons now making their way in, trying to take out as many of the militia as possible, also pushing hard onto this army over here, so they get pincered between the chasseurs and the line infantry. So you can see them pushing in there, straight into that line. A few of them being taken down. Probably not a good idea to charge line infantry directly. I'm trying to charge through them, barge as many of them down as possible, possibly move into those line infantry over there. So you can see the battle progressing here. There we go. The artillery is, some of these guys, there you go, 12-pound artillery now moving back. And you can see what I've done now is I've moved up our artillery so that I can fire back directly at their arty, and their arty is in the process of starting to flee. So you can see these guys, these brave souls here, who are coming under a lot of fire from the line troops of the French side as the Dragoons are attacking this area to break them. These guys, the chasseurs, will be attacking this line, who are not paying attention to what's going on and are about to get a rather nasty surprise. So it seemed, yeah, there we go, they've got within firing range, so obviously now that's now got their attention, and they're probably going to go in for a skirmish charge maybe. We'll have to wait and see. So you can see here, for some reason the Dragoons are standing there minding their own business when they should be charging into there. Ugh, bloody Dragoons these days. And I've got another line infantry moving up on the right hand side to bolster the defence here. Now over here the battle is continuing, as you can see. My line infantry doing pretty well. Their line infantry down 100, down quite a few numbers, as you can see. They look like they taking casualties all over the place. So sustained fire here from the French side. My line infantry, there we go. I'm now trying to move them so that I can get more of them shooting directly into that line. As the general stays over there, there's no point moving in for the time being. Everything is going too well. This guard will move up, pincer these guys as they try and get out. The chasseurs will be making a push into this line infantry at the same time as these line infantries will now be moving up. So the question... Yeah, there we go. Now the trouble is the chasseurs, unfortunately, bad micromanagement by me, made them charge a line directly. As a result, they have broken and are routing. Routing? Yeah, they are routing. So, anyway. There's more of their team there, so I'm going to basically take pot shots at them with that. The dragoons are over there, out of harm's way, and the remaining members of the Sardinian line infantry are now moving up closer to what essentially is a killing field. Look at this. This is just brutal. Absolutely savage. So many dead bodies here. It's just horrible. Look at this. Infantry left on the field of battle. Sardinian bodies everywhere. This is just brutal. And that would be the artillery firing through my own men. Good job, artillery. You've done well. So you can see also quite a few dead clippity-clops here as well, which is never a good thing in my book. So let's see what happens as these line infantry... There we go. Done it again. I've really got to stop putting my line infantry in front of the artillery. It's not a good idea. So you can see here... looks like the dragoons now going after the routing line infantry. Another line of revolutionary infantry now pushing in towards the line infantry of the Sardinians. And these guys are now moving up to get closer range and try and do some damage. You can see two cannonballs coming into the Sardinian. There we go. They've now broken. That line is broken. These guys all moving in for the kill. To hit them with fire from multiple directions. So the dragoons trying to take out that routing line infantry. This line infantry, the revolutionary line infantry, moving up to close in on these guys. These guys, also the Garde Nationale, moving up to try and hit these guys from opposite direction as well, or from another direction. Crossfire, etc. So you can see here more Garde Nationales. They're holding back in case I need reinforcements. And you can see, there we go, that line is now broken. You've got the chasseurs here who are moving in, and let's see. Yeah, that's a battalion of line infantry there. So they're now moving in. A little bit of fire into the retreating enemy. So those guys will basically be disappearing very shortly. Here we go. More line infantry coming in. There's the Garde Nationale taking pot shots at this remaining line infantry as one of the other line infantries now moves to one side so that we can get them in a suitable crossfire, and that's what will take down a huge amount of them. At the moment, they are focused predominantly on the guys that are behind the camera. Yeah, they're shooting at the camera. That can't be nice. Let's see what's going on over here. So you can see this line now. Yeah, look at this. 154 men remaining out of 275. This is pretty bad for them. See, as you can see, they are fighting. You've got to give them credit where credit's due. They are fighting bravely. And it's not going well for them. They are under cover, so that gives them the advantage. So there's a good chance that after a while may just decide to move in. So let's see. 153 out of 185. And 156 out of 184. So I've lost some troops. I haven't lost too many of them. So that's a good situation for me over there. Now, as you can see, the retreating line troops now retreating out of the battlefield. Revolutionary battalions here and the infantry pushing them back, making sure that they disappear. And obviously we've got these dragoons now. The question is, the only remaining members on the battlefield will be these fine fellows. So that means I can now focus my attention. You can see the line infantry moving in, pushing in even closer, and you can see them getting in there to try and do the damage to the guys who are hiding in the trees. Yeah, 148 remaining. They've lost about half their number. That's pretty bad. 50% casualties for guys hiding in the trees. Revolutionary infantry and fusiliers will be taking pot shots at them very soon. And no doubt there will be some cavalry coming at some point soon. So you can see here the revolutionary infantry getting set up. And you can see the Fusiliers. There we go. So you can see them. It looks like them. Yeah, they got bayonets fixed. And it's possible they may be taking some fire. Let's wait and see how things go. 150 or 185. There we go. The command for melee has been given. Bayonets have been fixed. And they are charging into the battle. So 150 and 150. So 300 men versus 138. It's going to get pretty messy over here. So you can see bayonets going in. Stabby goodness left, right and centre. Members of the Sardinian armed forces here. The line infantry trying to defend themselves, and they were unable. So there we go. Myself commanding as Napoleon Bonaparte. I deployed 2,900 people, and I only lost 400, so that's not too bad, but I killed 1,798 of the enemy. So, you know, that's not too bad. I'll settle for that, and I hope you enjoyed what is the first of the Napoleonic War battles for this week. Take care, see you next time.